Okay, YouTube, I want to make this video. I don't know if it'll be for myself or for you guys, because some of the stuff I say might be considered too personal and maybe shouldn't be posted, so I don't know. Okay? But we went to this birthday party yesterday, and it went really well, I thought. There wasn't a lot of people there, but it was still really nice, you know? And then I kind of could see that these people actually had pretty good influences regarding marriage. I was like, damn, I think that's part of the problem. You know how like they said in the old days, which I don't know, you know what I mean? Since we're all so segregated, we're all living our lives, and most people are freaking miserable, you know? And, you know, because they had the grandparents there who seemed to be very much still in love. So they're not perfect, and he's apparently a preacher. But they were pretty damn, you know what I mean? Like, they were still teasing each other. It was kind of nice. And, ooh, wow, that's pretty. But, and then, you know, so then there's the couple whose birthday party it was, and they were all, you know, I mean, mind you, it wasn't perfect because, like I said, they do argue a lot, somewhat, but everybody does, right? Because that's the whole point. You have fights. Marriage isn't perfect. You're trying to get along with each other. But they were fighting yesterday, because I don't think so. I feel like last year's party went a lot worse than this year's party, like that way, kind of. You know what I mean? Like, it was still, they had a great time. They had a good time. It was good. There was a lot of people there. There was a lot more people there. And maybe that was a lot more stress. Maybe that's the reason. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? So I don't know. Yeah. But this time seemed to go a lot smoother. You know, like. And it could have been having the grandparents there. I don't know. Like, I know the grandma was there last year, but the grandpa wasn't there last year, you know? And then she had one of her kids there who's an adult with her fiance and stuff. And, like, they were talking about, I think, marriage or something. And, you know, from what I saw, because remember, everyone sees different things, you know? They were just kind of explaining how, like, you know, he's kind of stuck for life or whatever, and they're gonna stick it through and this and that. I don't know. It's like, you know, stuff you want to hear in a relationship, right? Because that's the whole point. You get married, you stick it through, you're whatever, right? You know what I mean? But and then, like, this is how we do it, you know, whatever. And do the shit, right? Go through the shit, come out on top. Which I remember that feeling once upon a time, you know, because, you know, we definitely had moments like that in our relationship where we went, because like I said, we go through shit all the time, right? And but then there was so many times that, you know what I mean, like, there was definitely times that I wish I was, but anyway, I feel like I was like, damn, I wish we'd had more influences like that. Like, if we had been around, which I guess is the whole point about being around other couples, right? You're doing a couple things, you're committed to each other, you're around each other, other couples that are like that, and then, you know, it grows on you. Not being around single people that are looking for somebody or enjoying single life. You know what I mean? And God, other things like that, or even couples that are pretty miserable and arguing all the time and hating on each other all the time, right? That's all you see, right? I was like, yeah, because I don't know, you know, which, like I said, I wanted friends that were couples and stuff like that, but my husband never was into it because, you know, whatever, we're just so different, right? That's the thing, we were so fucking different. Even our friendships were different, you know? And because I have friends, like I said, that they seem like they're that way, right? That they're committed, that they're working together, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? It's not like I don't have friends that are like that. I've definitely seen it. And I guess I've seen friends that seem like it and end up divorced later on down the line, didn't make it, you know. I don't know. So it's a bunch of whatever. It's very confusing. It's very confusing. But anyway, I saw a spark of hope last night, which I said I've been trying to feel that way. Like, it's like I said, I mean, it was another night. I was like, I'm done. You know, I'm done with this fucking shit. I'm done. And then I talked myself out of it because I was like, you know what? Which, I haven't combed my hair yet. Okay, I just took a shower. I'm trying to hurry, but I also make it because my husband went to go take care of the dogs because remember my baby grandbaby's gonna be born today, and I'm really nervous about that. And shit. But anyway. Oh my God, so let me try to get this video kind of done before my husband calls me and goes, what the fuck are you doing? You know, I realize I'm gone. And when he comes back, and then, you know, and then he's gonna be mad already that I'm buying food. I don't even care, but I was like, yeah. So, wait, what was that? Yeah, okay, like, go back. Yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. I started thinking of other reasons. I can't even remember the fucking reasons that made me think, you know what, I can give this one more chance. I can, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I even felt that way yesterday after this party, after thinking, yeah, I could do this. We could make this work. We can just, you know, I could ease up on some things, and we're not doing as bad as some people, like as I feel like my poor son and his girlfriend, you know, the early stage, I feel like they're going to go through some fucking hell. And the worst part is they have parents on both sides that are not exactly good examples. So I'm like, oh God, they're terrible. They need to be around other people that are way more, you know what I mean, in tune. They don't have that. I don't feel like they're going to be fucked. Oh. You know, it's like, unless we can repair ourselves, which I don't know, because like I said, yeah, I was feeling optimistic last night, like, yeah, I can do this, I just gotta get that mentality back, that mentality thing that I used to have, that I used to feel the same way, you know, like we signed up for this, we can do this, we can struggle through, and we can actually try to get along, and whatever, you know what I mean? But then last night, I was really pissed off, like, I was like, because he did piss me off. And you know, it took, considering how the day was, I don't even see how that was fucking possible. Which I guess I should have known he was, you know, stressed out about James having a baby and what's going to happen. Because, like I said, I think he is literally worried about if those two are going to make it. Like, if he didn't, like, he's like, is this the right girl for my son? He literally said that. He's now worried. And it could just because she's in the hospital, she's having hormone problems. Because we did, remember they said, sometimes that happens, right? The women are a little bit crazier. Being in a hospital for 3 months, and you know what I mean? And all the shit she's going through could be the reason that's just like it is right now. But he's already getting, like, you know what? Every time I call, she doesn't seem to want us to talk. She'll go, I'm hungry, and then throw a fit, you know? So he's already feeling like maybe she's already trying to keep him away from us, you know what I mean? And this and that, and so I think that's not a good thing for my husband, because he's like, this isn't good, you know, like, because you remember, you know, I mean, I'm not really that much of a problem, because like I said, I see James, I'm happy to see him, but I don't even call him that much or nothing. I'm just like, whatever, you know, I don't know. Like I said, I have a whole different thing, like, I'm really fucked up in the head as it is. Like I said, I want a relationship with my kids, but I'm also with that, like, you know what, I can fucking cut the damn cord. I can fucking cord it if I have to. You know what I mean? I don't know. Because, I mean, I don't know. I just, but I've been trying to still build that relationship with both of them, because it's important to have that, you know? And I really do want them to make it, because now they're having a baby together. They need to make it. It would be nice if they had a happy. But like I said, I felt like they've only been together a year, basically, maybe almost 2 years. Okay, fine, maybe it's been almost 2 years now, but goddamn. And then I was like, how could they already be fighting and yelling at each other? And this is supposed to be the honeymoon phase, not the which, like I said, I feel like me and my husband didn't really have that much of a honeymoon phase either. It was pretty damn fucking quick. So I kind of get that, but I was 25, not fucking 18 and 20, okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, we were older, and I was just probably desperate at that time. I mean, I'm getting older, right? I'm like, I'm not no 18-year-old, got plenty of years ahead of me. God. You start getting what you call it, right? It's the settling phase. How am I going to make it by myself phase? I knew I always wanted kids and a family, you know? That much I knew, and I'm glad. Like I said, I'm definitely one of those people who did not go, I do not want kids. I don't want any after having kids. I definitely love them, want them, and everything else, you know? And of course, there's, you know, there's those people that, which, like I said, I had a good childhood, so I can't say trauma there, you know? But I had other kinds of trauma, but not that kind of trauma. I'm just like, what am I don't know where we're going with that, but then, you know, they say sometimes, like, some people who do have trauma want to have kids so they can love on someone else and they can love them, right? They have that love, you know, that you don't get from your parents, so you have it on your children and whatever, you know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe that's why I love it, though, because, I mean, you do want that kind of love. It's just amazing, you know? It is just fucking amazing. like I said, as I got older, if I could have had a dozen children like the Duggars, I probably would have. Just because that's how wonderful it is, you know? But even though I know I'm not one of those parents who have that many children at all, but you know what I mean? I don't know. I wish, and like my favorite family on YouTube, the Mills family, you know, that I love them because they had a lot of kids and they were just, that's the kind of life I was like picturing, you know, like that's what I want, you know? But, and there's other YouTube families that are like that too, and you know what I mean? I don't know, but yeah, it's like, oh my god. But I mean, I still feel like, you know, we're lucky because, like I said, I mean, I know, like, Aiden, he wanted to leave when he was 18 years old, but I think he's kind of actually mostly content living with us. But then at the same time, I feel like maybe he's only seems that way because he can't. He knows the economy's shit, and where the fuck he's gonna go, and who does he even have? You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't know. But that was my whole point. My whole point on this whole video was about the whole like marriage thing. I was like, I don't know. I was like, I'm trying to get because like, yes, you can do this. You can fucking do this. You can. You just need to. I don't know what I fucking need to do. I just don't know. But part of me's like, yes, you can. I can see it going a good way and going a bad way. I can see it doing both things. But yeah, he had me so pissed last night because, okay, well, I don't want to get into the whole thing, but two people at the party were drunk. I'm not gonna say who. And then I wondered if my husband was, it also didn't help with him being stressed out and his kid and stuff like that because, okay, he just bought a bottle of wine. So he's like, oh yeah, I can only drink a little bit of alcohol, the medicine I'm on, because you're not supposed to drink alcohol at all, right? And red wine's supposed to lower your blood pressure or whatever the hell. Supposed to be kind of good for you, right? And all this shit. Okay, I know he might open that bottle yesterday when I was sleeping, and I don't know how much he drank yesterday. So maybe that's the thing. I didn't look at it today. I wish I kind of had, because that fucking bottle was more than half empty. He literally told me he poured it out, but then I could already tell he was a little bit tipsy. Not like drunk, okay? He was not drunk. I could tell the difference, but he could have gotten there. That's what I'm saying. I was kind of like pissed. Like, are you fucking kidding me? We're supposed to have a baby tomorrow. You're drinking tonight when you're supposed to drive me and your mother to this place? And whatever the fuck, I was pissed. Okay? I was like, oh my god, are you fucking kidding? I poured that whole motherfucking bottle out. That's how I feel. I was like, fuck this. You know? And he's like, oh, you might like. I'm like, I didn't even drink any of this fucking shit. Because the truth is, I don't like wine. It's disgusting. Okay, you know what I do like? I do like margaritas. I found that I like these sweet drinks, which are like hella good to me. So apparently tequila I like, okay? I don't know if I like it straight, but I like it in, you know what? And, yeah, of course, can I drink it? Probably. Apparently not, because I don't go to restaurants, and then I feel weird drinking it at a restaurant usually most times. Because, I mean, I do try not to be drinking in front of my husband, who is an alcoholic, and here I'm like, yeah, I'm just letting him drink because I'm an enabler. Let's put it that way. I feel like I am kind of. Like I said, I've always let him do whatever the fuck he wants to, you know, which ain't always good. Because I don't know how not to be that way, you know? Because we're adults, you make your own fucking decisions, you know? I don't know. I don't fucking know. I just know that, you know, that's true. You can't make someone do something they don't want to fucking do, because they'll just hide it, right? They're just going to fucking hide it. You know what I mean? They're gonna, and he probably might anyway, just based on the fact that he knows I don't like it. If he sees me, I see him drinking hard shit, I see him drinking whatever. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if he starts trying to drink that, he's gonna hide that shit. You know what I mean? He is going to, because he knows I don't like it. And listen, when you have somebody that's annoyed at you and acts like, you know, like you know, whatever, it doesn't make you feel good. So of course you're gonna hide shit, right? You know what I mean? So if I'm acting like, you know, whatever like he's doing the worst thing on this planet, and I don't like it. Like, let's say, you know, like smoking. If he was like smoking and I was like, you know, giving a fucking hard time and looking at him like disgusted and shit like that, you know what that's gonna do to somebody? They're gonna hide it, right? Because they're not gonna feel good, and they're not gonna want you to treat them like shit and act like they're a piece of shit, which you might end up actually doing, right? I was like, I'm trying not to do, but let's face it, sometimes when you are disappointed by people, you do that fucking shit, right? You know, you do it. Oh, and like I said, my problem is I think I'm trying to treat this more like a friendship than a fucking marriage, because like I said, I think I expect so much from a husband compared to anybody else. You know, like I said, and I remember Drew Barrymore saying this, you expect so much more from your spouse than you do any other human being on this fucking planet, and that might be a little too much. You know what I mean? Where's that grace that you should be giving them, that you give your friends, that you give other strangers and your family members, if you do that? Because I'm sure some people might not give that much grace to their family members, I don't know, but you know what I mean? So I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to do more grace and more, like, let's see, boundaries and more, you know what I mean? Things like that. Because I would want that. So, so there should be some give and take on that. That's what I'm finding. I don't know. But I'm also like I said, part of me is like, also like, oh, well, I'm going to do my own thing. It's, as I said, I've been doing my own thing. I'm trying to go back to whatever, but then us being whatever. But part of me is like, yeah, fuck. I also want to still do my own shit because I can't put up with his shit. And that's what's the problem. It's like there's two of me fighting against what I should and shouldn't be doing and what I should be deciding in this freaking economy that's not so great. And then there's you know what? I know it. I mean, yeah, I have my children, and they're gonna live their own lives and blah blah blah. So that's what we say, the lonely part there. Like I said, I pretty much count my friends as companions. Okay, that's what I also decided, that my real friends are companions. You know what I mean? That's why they're kind of important to me. You know, because that's what we're sharing, companionship, right? You know? I'm like, their relationships to me are not just whatever. I'm looking for friends that are in the long haul, for the future. You know what I mean? I don't know. Anyway. Looks like there's a delay in one of my medicines. Probably that insulin crap. Because I was like, oh, I need to get some more. Anyway, I made it all the way to freaking Springdale, I think. I'm making a loop so I can talk. Well, I'm almost at 17 minutes, so I might have to stop this and start another video. But, yeah. So that's the shit that I'm dealing with. I don't even fucking know. I just don't even know. I mean, I know I'm not perfect. And sometimes there's fucking times I was like, you know what? I hate people. Now I remember my friend Sarah said she started like, yo, she hates people too, but she has a good enough reason to, because the way her kids are treated. The shit she's going through warrants it. Me, sometimes I just fucking hate people, because you look at, let's face it, just fucking hate them. It's like, that's so, but then you have to have people too. It's just so crazy. But yeah, I was like, yeah, we can hate people. I can't. That's what I said for her. She has a legitimate reason. People are assholes. You're assholes. And they're evil. But anyway. Yeah. But I try to stay positive and let that shit go. I was like, yeah, of course, I could be an asshole too, a bitch, I'm sure. And I can. Push the right buttons and you will find out fast. Jesus. Isn't that with anybody though, Yeah. And I assume it's our introvert side that does that shit. It says, get away from me, people, stay away from me. Because I am definitely both extrovert and introvert. I used to be just an extrovert. I felt like it, right? But I don't know if I always was. I just think I thought I was. And I still can have that side, but it doesn't come out very often, I just haven't met enough people that bring that side out. Not. So most time I'm an introvert. You know? Now, as an adult. I miss it. I do miss being an extrovert because I loved it. That is when shit is fun. But let's face it, reality sucks. There's a reason they made, okay, I was watching some YouTube videos this morning, they were good videos, so I was like, yeah, you know? And, I'm gonna stop and then I'll start this video.